Hi guys, it's the Macintosh Guide, and today we're going to be looking at the Steam Deck performance for games via handheld. So last video we saw it being docked with the AliExpress dock, and we saw how the performance was. Let's look at the performance with some of the Rockstar Games titles via handheld mode. So guys, sit back and enjoy this one. Now, as we saw, there's a few games on here which obviously depend on the Rockstar game launcher. Yes, guys, I have heard I need to get the tiles, I need to get the DB, it's Steam Deck DB. That's fine, I will get that. Just leave me in peace. But let's start off with having a look at some of the games we're going to be looking at. So we're going to be looking at some of the Rockstar ones. We're going to be looking at Red Dead Redemption. We're going to be looking at GTA 4, GTA 3, Vice City. And obviously San Andreas. We'll look at Lego 2K Drive, and we'll also look at Red Dead Redemption 2. And I'll have the FPS counter on so you guys have an idea of what performance is like as well. So guys, we'll get straight into the first game, which is going to be Red Dead Redemption. So guys, we're now in the game, and as you can see, currently we just at the beginning of the game we're on 74 FPS. Now if we look at the settings really quickly for the game, as you can tell, options, and if the game like display, graphics, as you can see, it's outputting full screen, 60 Hz, 144 FPS, everything's set to medium level and off. So yeah, all of the settings on a pretty good scale, and as you can tell, it runs so well. It's giving me 70 FPS, 80, 90 FPS, guys. It's such a good optimized game. Rockstar have done a really good job, and it just looks amazing. And it's fantastic. Just look at that. It's brilliant. So yeah, you can tell, guys, the game runs well. You can get 60 FPS easily on Red Dead Redemption 1. And it's a remarkable piece of work by Rockstar as well to get this working. So yeah, guys, easy 60 FPS on this game. You might see some stutters if you're going to go into like action loaded aspects of the game, which is normal in my opinion. But yeah, guys, as you can tell, it runs absolutely fine and well. And that's Red Dead Redemption 1 on the Steam Deck in terms of performance. Now the next game we're going to be looking at is Grand Theft Auto 3, the Definitive Edition. I'm sorry that you're seeing me on the screen, guys. I do deeply apologise, but it's just one of those. It's just the reflective screen. I do apologise. I don't have the greatest of equipment. Now, as you can see, the game is running 30 FPS. Now if we look at the settings really quickly, options and graphics, you can see everything is kind of set to medium and low. So it's giving us around 30 FPS locked. If I increase this to 60, and if I increase to 60, we don't need 90. You can tell it can give more performance, that's for sure. And it runs quite smooth, to be honest. In handheld mode, it runs way better than it did on the dock. So yeah, guys, it is running much better in handheld mode than it did via the dock. You can hear the fan kicking off as well. It's a bit difficult to drive when you're looking via the camera, but yeah, actually, do you know, it's really well optimized and working on the Steam Deck. It's not a verified Steam Deck game, but guys, it does work. It's giving between 40 to 60 FPS, which I think is actually really good for a game like this. So yeah, I would say it's absolutely playable, no issues, and it's not using too much resource off the game either. So yeah, GTA 3 Definitive Edition, you can absolutely play with no problems, guys. So let's look at the next Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition game. So now we're going to be looking at the definitive edition of Vice City, and we've got the same settings as we did before for the previous one. As you can tell, majority of it was on low and medium settings right there, and frame rate's being locked at 60. And again, performance is great. It just works off the bat. And I've kept the volume off because I do not want to get any copyright strikes. But as you can tell, it's giving around 50 to 60 FPS. It's doing really well. It's surprisingly really well optimized for the handheld, but not for the external connection, which makes sense. It needs to do more processing. The GPU needs to do more work. But yeah, guys, look, it's running great. And let's just try and get to... Oh, there's a quite big stutter there. Oh, and that was a huge stutter. But I think we should all kind of realise, you know, there's a lot of people that say that, oh, but it should be running fantastic, it should be smooth, it should be this, it should be that. But you can't expect a handheld device like this to be able to pull out 90, 120 FPS type of gameplay. So yeah, it's just, it looks great, it runs great, it's the OLED model, and it's fantastic. And I think you're going to be really happy playing this on your Steam Deck. So guys, yeah, look, it's consistent 60 FPS most of the time. And I think this is a really good purchase to have, especially after they fixed quite a lot of bugs with all three titles. So Vice City running on the Steam Deck OLED on handheld mode. And now we're looking at San Andreas Definitive Edition. Now, again, you guys must be wondering, why do you not play on the 90 FPS aspect, or why do you not play with it unlocked? Well, guys, there's just no point. In all honesty, there is actually no point. And the reason I say that it's no point is because of the fact that most of the time you will not notice a difference between 60 and 90, especially 90 to 100. You're not going to notice as much of a difference. People might say they do, but I would say probably on 80% of gamers will never know the difference, including myself. And, you know, guilty as charged. That's a terrible thing to say, but it is true. A lot of people still play with 1080p monitors, and that was really odd. That was super odd. I wonder what that was all about. Oh, is he trying to kill me? Damn. He really don't like me. Let's get out of Grove Street. And let's see if we can go outside a bit and see how the performance is. As you can tell, it's still quite solid 60, but the game does drop. And because of that stutter there, that's actually what led me to slide. So it is playable. It is absolutely playable. Don't get me wrong. I think it's more just a case of it does stutter quite frequently. And let's just have a look at the settings as well. And as you can tell, it's still the same level of settings that we had for Vice City and GTA 3. So yeah, it's 60 FPS right now, but when you start speeding it down, it does kind of, if you want to do a turn, I think it doesn't like it as well. Yeah, as you can tell, some sort of contact, and it drops to around 48 50s. But I mean, guys, it's still more than playable on the Steam Deck. I think anything over 30 FPS and you should be really happy with Steam Deck's performance. But that was GTA San Andreas Definitive Edition, and you will absolutely have a good time playing it, besides the little glitches that come up, but that's just the game, as we all know. So time to move on to my favourite, GTA 4. So now we're loaded into my favourites, GTA 4, and now this is running, well, we'll have a look at the settings in a second, but as you can tell, the 90 FPS counter is showing up, so it's playing at a consistent 90 FPS for now, and boom, we go outside, and it drops straight down to the 60s, the 70s. It's really good because there's a lot happening in this game. It's more intensive. So let's just have a look at what settings are we seeing for this game. So everything's set to high, which is brilliant. This is all default settings, by the way. We're not going to tweak anything to make it work even better. These are all default settings, and you can tell it's 1280 by 890 hertz. So it's by default playing at 90 hertz by itself. You could see GPU's around 93%. CPU's at 62%, so yeah, it is working quite intensely. Let's see if we can whip out a gun. Boom. Let's create some carnage and let's see if what we can do here. GTA 4 is always a fantastic play to do. What is this guy doing? He's playing hide and seek with me. We've got 3 stars, so let's see. Where did all those police coppers come from? It is running quite well. My opinion, I think this is running very well. For you to get handheld mode 80 FPS on this, which is a PC destroyer, yeah, you can tell you're getting a good performance from your handheld to get this. And I can't believe it, it's something that came out in 2008, which is a really masterful video game, has done really well. Yeah. Good to hope they've shot my wheel. But guys, it looks tremendous. We're getting a good FPS around here. In the tunnel especially, we're getting 90, which is great. And I really love GTA 4. It's my favourite out of the entire franchise. And look, we even lost the cops, which is it's funny. And let's just go into Manhattan. So let's take a right and I believe take a left. And there you go, we're in Times Square. Or about Times Square. It looks brilliant, look at that. That's GTA 4. Absolutely recommending this on the Steam Deck, and it runs really well, guys. Let's move on to the next one. And now we're on Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, as you can see, we're getting around 55 FPS with him just sitting and moving around the camera. We can see that he does react quite well on handheld. So let's get out of our... Well, this is going to be the real world. We're getting around 49, 53 FPS. And it runs really well. We're just trying to get out of our... You can tell that some things are artifacting. If you didn't notice, those are artifacting in, which is expected for something like Red Dead Redemption 2. And we're getting a good amount. It's using 74% of the GPU, of the CPU, 98% of the GPU. So it's pretty much maxing out the GPU power. Hey guys, it looks fantastic. You're getting around a consistent 60 FPS, around 60 FPS. Let's just quickly have a look at the settings as well. So settings, graphics, and as you can see right here, 1280p, refresh rate set to 60, full screen, texture quality set to high, and everything else is pretty much just on mediums and lows. So we're getting a good amount of FPS right here from Mr. Arthur Morgan, and it just looks brilliant. It's just fantastic. The amount of detail they put in. Like look at the water. You can see the light shining off the water. It's just it's brilliant. And it's just brilliant. Oh, the way Arthur looks, the way he behaves. It's just if you haven't, and it's remarkable to complete this on the Steam Deck. This is an easy 80 to 100 hour plus game, so you'll absolutely be drawn into this. Especially if you're traveling and stuff like that. Basically, so if we're getting a good amount of 40 to 60 FPS, so this is an absolute playable game. And even though the GPU is pretty much at max, it does perform very well on the Steam Deck. So this is Red Dead Redemption 2, guys, and we will move to the next one. So we're finally on the last one, which is LEGO 2K Drive. Now, as you can tell, it's set to high and epic in some instances, and let's just go straight into playing the story. And it looks great. It does. One thing I really do hate though about this, sometimes when you're playing on the controller, you have to change the controller in terms of which is being used currently. Now, as you can tell, we're getting 47, 50 FPS, and it runs much better. It 100% runs much better on the deck compared to when it was docked. So absolutely does. And you can do in some instances it does hop down to 30 FPS, but it's still very consistent. It's very fun, and I'm pretty sure if you put this to medium, you'd easily hit the 60 FPS. But it's like a good drive. It looks great, runs great. It's giving us at least over 30 FPS, so I'm quite happy with that. But yeah, this is LEGO 2K Drive, and there's one more surprise I've got for you guys as well. So let's hop on to that surprise. That's it, guys. We're going to be looking at the next gen edition of Vice City. So let's look at the options in terms of what it looks like. As you can tell, it runs off the GTA 4 engine. And let me just try and help you guys. You can see, there you go. And go to display, go to graphics. Seems like my camera does not want to play nice. So we have the capability to play this at 60 FPS and 90 Hertz as well. So let's just stick with 90, apply, and then let's go back and let's just start Vice City Next Gen Edition. And it's remarkable what the developers have done here. They've been able to get this to function on the Steam Deck. Well, they haven't really, but there's ways around it to be able to get it to play on the Steam Deck. And guys, it runs great. 60 FPS. It's running off the GTA 4 engine, and it looks great. It's got Nico's yeah, this is the next gen edition. So let's just make our way. Let's just grab ourselves a little car. Break the window. Or people are just watching us. And we've already got the coppers on our tail. It looks great as well, running off the GTA 4 engine. And this is definitely not a sand vehicle. That's for sure. There's a bunch of people, and you can tell it's running great. It's running over 60 FPS on this with the settings that we have on. They've done a really good job. Now I know it's a bit of a buggy mess sometimes to play this, but it actually runs surprisingly well. And do I suggest you get this on your Steam Deck? If you can find a copy, I say go for it. I'm not going to promote anything here, but this is the next gen edition by the developers. So guys, those are all the games being played on handheld mode, and the little surprise. So, what do we think? I think that the Steam Deck obviously is built for handheld. It's meant to be for handheld, and of course the performance is so much better during handheld mode. It's not like the Switch where the performance gets better when you dock it. So, if you want the best experience, my suggestion would be to play this via handheld. If you do want to dock this up, just remember you will lose a couple of FPS here and there. It's not crazy, but you can notice a few more stutters than you usually do. But this is the Steam Deck, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got an idea of what your Rockstar Games will look like on it. Sorry I don't play GTA 5, it works great, it takes a while for it to download for some reason for me. So yeah guys, look, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.